Let's start with episode 5 now. In the episode 5, we are going to learn about decoding blockchain, how the blockchain is built, the global ledger, how that is built, which never sleeps. In this episode, we step into the part of internet that refuses to sleep, that refuses to shut down, that refuses to come back after a lunch break. And worst of all, uh, the old financial world refuses to lie. Yes, we are talking about blockchain, the global ledger that has never asked for a day off since the moment it was born. Even when there is no electricity, even when there is no internet, even when there is no signals, blockchain never stops. But before we go any deeper, let me make one thing very clear. Web 1 gave us information, Web 2 gave us surveillance, and then blockchain gave us accountability. And nothing terrifies the traditional world more than that. So let's begin. The ledger that does not blink. Imagine a book, but this book cannot be burned, cannot be edited quietly at 3 a.m., cannot be erased by a panicked intern, cannot be controlled by a big important man in the corner office. This book has millions of copies, all matching, spread across the world, across countries, across political borders, synced in real time. That is blockchain. A ledger that does not rely on trust because it replaces trust with mathematics. And suddenly, auditors everywhere felt a sharp pain in their chest. The block by block time machine. Every block on a blockchain is a timestamp. Every block is a receipt. Every block is history logged in steel vault of cryptography. Once something enters the chain, it stays there forever, like that embarrassing Facebook post from 2009, but for money. And because each block is linked to the previous one, the chain becomes a timeline that cannot be rewritten. That is why we call it the immutable chain of truth. It's also why governments look at it and whispered, technology we cannot manipulate. Let me show you all how the blocks are created and how blockchain syncs the information and it kind of. See, this is BTC20 smart chain, and in every 3 seconds, a new block is created. And the information in these blocks cannot be changed. See, somebody just now, uh, 10 seconds ago, they changed this wrapped Bitcoin into wrapped BTCC. Nobody can change this information of the transaction. It is now the historical data which will be always accounted and which will always exist. I cannot erase this, I cannot take this, nobody can take these assets. That is the power of the blockchain. So with every 3 seconds, this our blockchain is creating a block, and this block is basically recording the information that it processes, and
Yeah,
it
the
will
human.
store this information permanently. See, just now we see another block,
Yeah.
and in this block we will also find some information. Okay, see,
Okay. No, no,
this
no.
block
Fine.
also has confirmation of a wallet address, and it is interacting with our DApp code 20 proxy. And
Hold on, Doctor. Wait. Yeah.
we can actually see who is this user and what they have done on chain. We know this user has 145 BTCC, and this user has done more than 500,000 transactions. But can we take these BTCCs? Can anyone take these BTCCs from this user? No, right? That is the power of blockchain. So this is how a immutable ledger that never sleeps, that never stops, and that cannot be manipulated is created. What's created? The network that does not sleep. Traditional banks, they say we are undergoing maintenance. Services will resume shortly. But blockchain says, I don't know what a maintenance break is. Traditional banks say we are closed for the weekend. Blockchain says, what is a weekend? Traditional banks, due to public holiday, we cannot do this. And blockchain says, what are you talking about? This is the difference between global decentralized network and a building with humans inside waiting for lunch hour. Blockchain runs 24/7 because people run it, not a central operator. And who are these people? Nodes, validators, miners. Distributed humans and machines across planet, keeping the engine alive. This is the financial system that does not depend on geography, office hours, or human moods. Why blockchain matters? The brutal truth. Our world runs on ledgers, bank ledgers, government ledgers, corporate ledgers. But the problem is these ledgers are all private, controlled by few, edited when necessary, and sometimes corrected when they get inconvenient. Blockchain ended this era. It said, let the people, let the whole world see the ledger, let everyone verify, let nobody secretly rewrite the story. A transparent world is not comfortable, but it is fair. Just like we went on blockchain and we saw somebody holding 145 BTCC, they cannot lie to us that they are holding 145 BTCC.
The
If
thing
we
about
ask them, can you
yeah.
send one to me? They cannot lie and say, I don't have any. So, this is not comfortable, but it is fair. Blockchain is not about crypto, even though crypto needed blockchain. Here is the irony, the world thinks blockchain is that crypto stuff, but blockchain is bigger than crypto. Blockchain is a model of record keeping, a decentralized governance structure, a trustless verification engine, a settlement layer for the global digital economy. Crypto is just its first child, not its final legacy. So now you know blockchain is quite bigger than what goes around into cryptocurrencies. Crypto is just one aspect of blockchain. One day your ID, your degree, your apartment papers, your health records, your purchases, your payments, and your digital identity will sit on chain. Not because it's trendy, but because it's the only place where manipulation becomes mathematically impossible. Let's do a reality check. Imagine if governments used blockchain for everything. Election results would be final. Tax money would be traceable. Budgets would be transparent. Public funds couldn't be mysteriously disappearing. And that is exactly um, still studying the technology. Slowly, very slowly, painfully slowly. So let me give you few research prompts if you want to learn more. This is a quick revision, and that would give you more clarity on the things we have discussed so far. If you search for blockchain use cases beyond cryptocurrency, pick three use cases that you think it will become mainstream. You will get to see the whole banking coming on chain. You already observe that the banking is coming on chain, and then you will see hospitals running on chain. You will see tax records running on chain. You will see traffic signals running on chain. Second prompt which you can search, which country has the most blockchain nodes? And then you will understand and realize why this country is progressing. Now the third search prompt, permissioned versus permissionless blockchain. Which one do you believe will win long term? Uh, Fourth prompt, you can search for why blockchain is considered immutable, and then try to explain this in your own words. This way you will be able to revise and you will be able to consolidate whole information that we discussed so far. And then you will have bigger clarity, deeper understanding. These will help you to connect today's episode with deeper layers we start unfolding from tomorrow onwards. Now that we understand the ledger itself, the machine, the engine, the ever awake global accountant. Now, from on Monday, we ask the $1 million question, if millions of computers have to agree, how do they agree? What stops chaos? How does the network decide what is true? So that's where the consensus comes in. The mutual consensus, the mutual understanding, or you can say the common ground on which everybody agrees.
वही
the
क्या कर सकते.
consensus mechanism and how decentralized systems agree. It's going to change how you think about authority, trust, and digital truth. Now, I will see you all on Monday at the same time with episode 6.